Tristan da Silva is a sniper.
Said it, I'm golden. Told you I'm shining. Had to break through. Plan perfect timing. Giving no.
What's good, y'all? Welcome back to my 5-part series where I'm ranking the top 5 draft picks that the Miami Heat should target at number 15 in the NBA draft this year. Make sure to like the video and subscribe because I'm on the grind to 5K subs before the start of next basketball season, and I greatly appreciate it. Dude, you're wasting your time. We're trading the pick for Spider. Oh, don't get your hopes up. Remember what happened with Dame? Dude, both of y'all got to get out of here. These people got a video to watch. So coming in at number 3 on my draft wish list for the Heat, I have Tristan da Silva. Now, I told you to subscribe. Hit the button. It's free in case you're unfamiliar with his game, and along the way, we'll talk about his fit with the Miami Heat. Now, in this case, I think a lot of you guys might not be familiar, and that's because he's one of the least flashy draft prospects because he's sort of just a Georges Niang. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, low-key, I shouldn't have started the video saying he's Georges Niang because now a lot of people are going to click off. Let's say he's more of a PJ Washington. He reminds me of a slightly less athletic PJ Washington, which is still really good. But basically, I went through a few different websites to see where they have him in their mock drafts. I went to NBADraft.net, USA Today, Bleacher Report, CBS, and The Ringer's, bum Bill Simmons website. And they have him around 27 or 16, 20, 16, 27. So obviously a lot of variance there, just like the previous 2 prospects. The lowest they have him here is 16. I know the Heat pick at 15. Maybe a little bit of a reach, but hey, that's what the Heat do best. They don't care what the big board says because they got the best scouts in the NBA. Now, he spent 4 years at Colorado, so he's a little bit of an older player. He just turned 23 a couple weeks ago, which I like personally for the Heat because they're obviously trying to win a championship now. I prefer to, in this case, I prefer to lean towards older prospects like Jaime Jaquez Jr., who can contribute now because if you don't trade this pick for Donovan Mitchell, I don't know how much else, I don't know how many other areas you can improve this roster in free agency because you don't have a ton of money. I don't know who else is available for trade. So obviously through the draft is one of the best ways you can improve your roster. And Tristan da Silva is kind of a guy that could play right now. His senior season, he averaged 34 minutes a night and had 16 points and 5 boards a game, 49% field goal shooting, and 40% three-point shooting. Like I said, an absolute sniper. And the reason that's exciting is because he's basically 6'9", by the way. I know Duncan Robinson is 6'9", but this guy's a little bit bigger. Da Silva is he's a little over 6'8". That's his official combine measurement, which has these guys all a little bit shorter because it's without shoes. So let's just say he's 6'9", but he has a 6'10" wingspan, which you'd love to see, and he's coming in at around 216 pounds. Now, he actually shot 40% from 3 in his last 2 seasons, right, at Colorado, and those were on 4 and 5 attempts respectively. So, not super high volume or nothing, but again, a guy shooting 5 threes a game, 40%. That's real volume there. So the fact that we know he's a reliable shooter, even 84% from the free throw line, so ultra reliable there. That's the name of the game with Tristan da Silva, is a sniper. And for a Heat team that can't score and really doesn't have a lot of shooting outside of Tyler and Duncan, I think this would be a great prospect for them. Now, a couple of the player comps I saw for him was one, I did see Kyle Anderson, which I think the Heat could use, but I don't like that comparison because he's not much of a shooter. He can. Maybe it's the little hitch in his jump shot that, makes me think otherwise. But the other name that I saw for Da Silva was Kyle Kuzma. And I think Kyle Kuzma, minus the bonehead off the court stuff with him, I do think that he would be a perfect fit for this Heat team if you're talking about that starting 4 spot. Now, Da Silva, when we are talking about him, obviously we're talking about him being a stretch 4. I don't know how that plays with the whole Nikola Jovic thing because I'm assuming Jovic will start next year. So now you're talking about having a stretch 4 come off the bench, which isn't great value. But, if they decide not to start Jovic, or hey, maybe even put Jovic at point guard. How about that? Get a 6'10" point guard. You got Jimmy and Bam. Throw 6'9" Da Silva out there. That's something I could work with. Put Terry Rozier at the 2, right? Have Tyler come off the bench. There's things you can do. And when it comes down to it, having a stretch 4, and he can play a little bit of defense too. We'll get into that. Having a guy with those skill sets will always be useful in the NBA. I was going to say if we trade Jovic for Mitchell, Da Silva could start then, but chances are if we trade Jovic, we're also trading that pick at number 15, which means Da Silva would be gone anyways. But you never know. Moving on here a little bit. He's an excellent shooter, beautiful form. Yes, his form is perfection. I'm talking elbow in. I'm talking full extension. I'm talking follow through. All the things that I'm talking great arc. All the things that you hear the first time you go to any sort of basketball camp and the coach says, just do these things, you'll be able to shoot the ball. That is what Tristan da Silva's form looks like. He's a high IQ defender. Obviously, we talked about the shooting. I even got some numbers here. Listen to this. He was 62% shooting from three on handoffs. We know that DHO, that Bam and Duncan run is spectacular. Now you got another guy that is ultra efficient at that 62%. Jeez, I forgot he was this good a shooter. He's also 42% off screens, which is something the Heat like to do a lot. They set a lot of screens for their shooters. He's 41% catch and shoot, 39% off the dribble. So he's not just sort of a spot up Channing Frye type of a stretch four. This is a guy that can move with and without the ball and is efficient from all areas, right? The point is the guy's a shooter, right? But on defense, that is what kind of also makes him an interesting prospect, because I don't want to just put some guy out there that's a sieve. I'm tired of playing these guys that don't play no defense. From now on, if the Miami Heat puts someone on the court, they have to play defense. That's Heat culture anyways, isn't it? Because I'm tired of seeing guys out there like Tyler Hero get hunted on and picked on, and it doesn't matter how good a defenders the rest of the team is, because they keep picking on the one guy every time. And the way Spoelstra likes to switch everything, you can't put a guy out there that can't play defense. Fortunately, Tristan da Silva can. He's a very high IQ defender, just a very smart player overall, which again, when you're talking about a team that's trying to win now, that is something that is a very valuable asset. He's both good on the ball. He's a good rotational defender, which again is perfect for Spoelstra. Now, he's not an elite athlete. That's why I said he's a slightly less athletic PJ Washington, because PJ could put some guys on a poster. We've seen that before, but he does prefer to, and on the offensive end, he prefers to pick and roll than to pick and pop. That's not true. He does prefer to pick and pop. Basically, anything shooting-wise, that's what he does. Do I have you convinced yet? Because I got a feeling a lot of people are going to see this video and they're going to say, Tristan da Silva, who the hell is that? That's not Jared McCain. That's not Zach Edey. We want the names. We want the young guys with a lot of potential. No, Tristan da Silva is a guy that could play right now, and he is silky smooth as butter for those butter situations, as John Crotty always talks about. If you know, you know. And he's just wet. He's a very wet player. Pause, unpause, no diddy. Yeah, he's a guy that I think could play right now. And again, the reason he doesn't like the pick and roll is because he's not a super athlete. He's not super strong and physical, so you're not going to look for that from him. But I don't want to give the impression that he's like Duncan Robinson, who's also 6'8", almost 6'9". He's not like that. He's a little bit bigger and can guard fours. Probably can't guard centers, but that's fine, because Tristan da Silva, well, here, he probably would play center, Noah Spoelstra, but his ideal position is probably the 4, maybe even the 3 on a really big team, and that's something that I would kind of be interested in. But anyways, that's all I got to say for this video. There's not much else to say, because this dude is just NBA ready. He is your prototypical 3-and-D stretch 4, which, hey, a guy like that, I said it earlier, will always have a job in this league. And as the team that we've had the joke on Twitter, who's the perfect 4 next to Bam, we've been saying it for years. We may have it now in Jovic, but if we don't, it could be da Silva. Even if we do, like I said, again, there will always be a spot for da Silva on this roster to contribute in some way. Anyways, that's all I got to say for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and let me know if you agreed, right? Because the previous 2 videos, I had Khalil Ware, and I also had Devin Carter. Let me know if I convinced you guys. I know I had a lot of people that was pretty big on Khalil Ware. So did I maybe lean you in the Tristan da Silva train a little bit? Because that's kind of my guy. I know I got him at number 3. And there's 2 guys I like a little bit more, but I'll be happy. I think I can talk myself into being very happy if the Heat do take da Silva. So let me know y'all thoughts down below. Make sure to like and subscribe. I'm on the grind to 5K subs by the start of the season, and I can't do it without y'all. Parts 1 and 2 will be out in the following days, so I'll see y'all then. Peace out.
Look, pull up in your city tryna get that dead face. Do it on my own, I don't need no dead weight. Had to kill him off, yeah, I need a head space. You know this homegrown bitch don't offend me.